Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's February 22nd, 2022, and I thought today what I do is respond to a question that I got from Wayne Derby. I never know. I get some strange questions and comments at times. This one's one of those ones that I'm wondering if they're just trying to provoke me or if they genuinely have questions about this. This question is in response to my Kubota Grand L6060 video, the build and cost it costs to build the excuse me, how much it costs to build the Kubota. And what I did in that video was just go through the online process of going to KubotaUSA.com here in the United States. And you just select the tractor, whatever it is. It could be a utility vehicle, could be it could be a mower, it could be anything, and you can just build it online. So you've got a pretty good idea of what to expect you're going to be paying when you go to the dealership. So let me read the question from Wayne. Kevin, my wife has listened to this and would like to see the paperwork. She would like to know where and how you got a $17,000 discount. We have ordered the same tractor, a Grand L6060, with some of the same attachments and some not. Our price came out at $67,000 plus, and we got no discount. So she sees your video and says, "You not telling the truth. Otherwise, if Kubota was giving discounts like that, we would have gotten it also. We ordered in October 2021, and it is at the dealership waiting for the backhoe. Care to back up your claims? I can send you my email if you would like. Thank you, Wayne." So Wayne, you can include your email right in a comment like this. So that would be much easier to respond and give you whatever feedback you would like. But I thought since this may be a valid question and misunderstanding, I thought what I do is address it in this video. So the first part of it is, my wife has listened to this and would like to see the paperwork. So I'll show you some paperwork. But I would also suggest that your wife write the comments, or at least say your wife's name and a little bit about your circumstances and all about, all right, so we're getting a Grand L6060, you're getting one with a backhoe. I have no need for a backhoe, and actually list the items that you're getting so we can know, and you can provide the paperwork as well, so that I may actually be able to help you out. And I'll go over that in a moment. She would like to know where and how you got a $17,000 discount. I never mentioned any discount. I did not receive any discount. And that's what I went over in the beginning of that video, so I would recommend going back and listening to it a second time. We have ordered the same Grand L6060 with some of the similar attachments. Like I mentioned, if they're different attachments and different timing, it's going to make a world of difference with what the cost is. Thinking I'm not telling the truth. Well, you're entitled to your thoughts. I'm not sure it's my job to convince you that I am telling the truth. Certainly, everyone's got to make decisions on who's giving them accurate information. And that's what I tried to do in the video. So I would recommend going back and listening to the video again, watching the video this time for your wife if she just listened to it last time. And she can see the actual build process. But within the first couple of minutes of the video, I really described, that we bought a lot of equipment this year, that I wasn't planning on buying so much equipment. The Grand L6060 was just one of the tractors or pieces of heavy equipment that we purchased last year rather. And the reason was because I anticipated, as I explained, with the chip shortages and the cost of fuel. And the fuel really makes a huge difference as far as manufacturing. If you've ever had any experiences with shipping and working in a factory, you realize how much the cost of fuel really, especially in foundries and manufacturing, heavy equipment manufacturing, fuel plays a huge role in that. The plastics, the chip shortages as well. These Grand L60s do have some significant electronics in them, so that's a factor to consider as well. And also, I mentioned in the video that I had gone through, I had investigated for a couple of years getting this Kubota tractor through a couple of other dealerships that were closer to me than the one that we ended up buying from. And the place that we bought it from was John S. Blazey's in Palmyra, New York, which I'll show you in this video. And one of the reasons that I didn't go into all the details, but I mentioned that price was an issue. So people are so used to going to a car dealership and negotiating with the salesperson, and then they take it to their manager at a car dealership, and negotiating and feeling like you got a good price. And you know, it's, as I've explained in other videos, I haven't bought a car that way since 1979. And nowadays we have a Tesla, which we just order things straight online. There's no markups. There's no dealership having to pay for their inventory, paying for the heating and cooling, paying all the things that dealerships have to pay for in order to be able to sell you the equipment. And the dealerships that I investigated around here, their knowledge base wasn't what I wanted it to be to feel comfortable. Their service departments weren't adequate, but more importantly, the prices that they were charging, the amount of a markup over the manufacturer's suggested retail prices were a bit crazy. So depending on what dealership you're going to, unless you're going through the build process and see what the manufacturer's suggested retail price is, and this was the only place that gave me the same price as the manufacturer's suggested retail price. And as I tried to make very clear in the first couple of minutes of the video, is that I could see that prices would be going up. When I made the video the other day and posted it, or last week, the price had gone up 15% since May 15th, 2021 until February of 2022. You know, these are things, we're in a rapidly escalating price situation. The car that we bought in September of 2020, it cost us, $50,000, really $49,990. Then there was the shipping and delivery charges and all that, but it really was a $50,000 car, and right now we can sell it for $58,000 as a used car. These are different times that we're living in right now, where the price, the demand is exceeding the production of various components, whether it's just like new home prices are going up because they aren't getting built fast enough for people wanting to invest in them. I think that's going to change before too long. Rental prices will keep going up, and these are things that I look at when I'm researching. I did not decide in May to go on out and buy this. I had decided a couple of years ago that this is what I wanted. These were the main components of the tractor that I wanted. And but because of looking at the macroeconomic situation and seeing how things were progressing, I knew that I had to not just buy one piece of equipment, but all of the pieces of equipment that I purchased last year. And it saved me, almost $20,000 so far if I were to buy those just the tractors alone. The tractors, the difference of 15% markup in the prices since and this is the manufacturer's suggested retail prices have gone up that much. So let me go ahead and see if I can bring up the, hopefully what you're looking at. So this is a scanned image of this right here. So I make catalogs for all my equipment, everything from the breakdown of the service. I have the full service manuals as well. I do most things online. But as you look in the upper left-hand corner here, you can see the name of the company that I bought it from is John S. Blasey Incorporated, 111 Holmes Street, Palmyra, New York. And the date of this transaction was May 15th, 2021. And I left a couple $100 down, and that just goes to their charge for running it through Kubota Credit USA, because I had intended on not taking out the money in cash and actually financing this, since it was 0% interest rate for 60 months, 5 years. So in this clip here, you really can't see what's behind it, but that's where the staple is. The next one you can see, I've got the actual receipt flipped over, and you can see, but this is all May 15th. Junior, as I mentioned, so this Blasey's equipment place, and you can search for them online if you'd like more information about them. I think they're great. They're fantastic. And Junior, who is the youngest member, so the grandfather was John S. Blasey. Jim Blasey is the son who's been running the operation for a while, and Junior, I think, is relatively getting more and more experience, but hasn't sold a lot of equipment, or hadn't at that point. So there are a couple of things that were miscommunications when we were building the tractor. But you can see right here that the base price was $47,659. You can see the bolt-on cutting edge, and you can compare this, and I'll just flip over real quick, to a build today. Now this is me going through it and rebuilding the tractor today, and today's date is February 22nd, 2022. So you can see their base price is $50,427. as compared to $47,659. So each one of these items is more expensive today. But as we go down this, so the auto hitch was correct on here at $8,842. Let's see if we can find the auto hitch in the new one here. That's a snowblower. We won't go to that here. Where's the auto hitch? Oh, here's the auto hitch down here, 10,524, and what did I say it was a moment ago? 8,842. So you can see there's a huge difference in a few months' time. And this was all easy to anticipate for me, following the macroeconomics, following what was going on. So that's what prompted me to buy the excavator, to buy the track loader, to buy 3 different tractors, because I knew it would be much more expensive. The other thing was used equipment prices. So an excavator that I bought in 2015, I sold for the exact same amount, or a little bit more than what I paid for it, and I got to do all the work here on the property over the years. This is the way that I look at my investments. I look at the value versus the investment. I look at whether it's a appreciable component, a depreciable component, or it is one that remains about neutral. So, and of course, everyone's in a different situation. So we can look a little bit further down. So one of the things, like the snowblower that he had selected, Junior had selected, was only $5,714. This is not the one. The one that I want. You can see, I found out about, and actually Junior had called me back and said he had spoken with his distributor who sets them up with their equipment. Said, no, you really want the L6060. So we go over to the one that's online here, and you see this is where is it? Up here at the top here, the 74-inch commercial snowblower, L4474. So that's $9,893. So, going back to the original one, the one that your wife wanted proof of, you can go down and, just freeze the frame, take a screenshot if you want, and take a look at these prices and all. But you'll see that the only, rebate, not a discount, the rebate I got is the one that I showed in the other video. So it's $700 for, a finance customer instant rebate and an Orange Plus implement discount because the implements were attached. So there's a $1,200 discount. So they looked at, I'm not sure how everything worked out here, but we added more things at the time after he had put it into here. So that's how the prices ended up being different. But this is not what I paid. I showed you almost $67,000 is what I ended up paying without any discounts. I received no discounts. But this, hopefully you can understand and see through looking at the difference between and I'll go back to the original one, which has a receipt there. You can see this was May 15th, 2021. Now, as I mentioned, one of the things that I saw with 4 other dealerships is they had a markup that they put. They weren't using the manufacturer's suggested retail price, just like car dealerships do. There's a huge markup that there is. When you look at the window in a car, that manufacturer's suggested retail price is way more. It pays for all their overhead, pays for all their employees, pays for all the insurance on all the equipment. It pays for their interest rate that they're paying on all those cars that they bought from Ford manufacturing or GM manufacturing. All of those costs are baked into their quote manufactured suggested retail price. And people used to be able to get that knocked down some. Nowadays, the price is going above the manufactured suggested retail price. As the other manufacturers go to battery electric, they can't make the money that they used to be able to make on the internal combustion engine vehicles because there aren't as many moving parts that can break. There's no oil changes. There's no brake. All of the things that people are used to having their traditional cars, you don't have those issues anymore. There's even less issues, even though these are more complex tractors nowadays. There's actually less issues that you have with maintaining them as long as you're doing the regular maintenance on these pieces of equipment. So I think that's about it. I'll remove the receipt again. So I'll just ride down this. So this is back in May 15th, 2021. And of course, these numbers are not quite right because down here you'll see that the weight box, it ended up being $450. I did not need this deflector, this snow deflector chute there. So I think this is what I ended up paying, the $66,919.60. And so there was no additional rebate other than the rebate that the company offers, and that's Kubota USA. So I hope this helps you to understand the purchasing power you have as far as timing, and not everyone has the luxury of going back in time. I'm always looking at, and one of the things I'm always talking about in the video is doing the plans ahead of time, having a 5-year plan, knowing what the functions that you want a piece of equipment to perform are, and knowing what implements are necessary. And once you know the implements that you need to do those functions, then you make sure that you get a tractor or a piece of equipment that can run all of those implements appropriately. And I've been over this in other videos as well. So I hope this helps you and your wife out, Wayne, and if you are real and all. And I wish you great success with your L6060. It's a wonderful piece of equipment. So far, I absolutely love it. And if there are any other comments or questions, please leave them below. And I hope everybody stays safe and have a good, healthy spring here. Spring's coming pretty soon, and I'm pretty excited. Take care now. Bye-bye.